Ho, 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 it's our Road to Cheltenham Christmas special.
I don't want to go over the top.
Thankfully, this isn't a fashion show.
He's building a bit of a team, actually.
Me by the sea, me by the water, the way that was going.
Meet me round the back. I'll meet you round the back. I'll see you around there in a couple of minutes. It's fancy dress, mate. Go on, tonight. It's fancy dress.
He said he doesn't do a lot at home. He's lazy as you like.
I think Honesty Policy will be the better horse.
Ho, 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 it's our punter's guide. No, it's not. It's Road to Cheltenham. In the first take. Let's do that one again.
A
Ho, 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 it's our Road to Cheltenham Christmas special. As you can see, Joel and Frankie are joining me. Joel in all his attire. I've got my Christmas jumper on, and we've got some Werther's original for Frankie just around the corner as well. What is that?
Oh, God, it was a last-minute addition. I mean, I've got some candy canes on my socks. That's the best I can do, Matt, to be honest. Grandad's Werther's jumper, yeah.
To be fair,
what would you rather be dressed in?
This is what, the 6 year running that you've told me to dress up, and it's like when you say, it's fancy dress, mate. Go on, tonight. It's fancy dress.
that's your normal attire.
Oh yeah, I know.
The tie with the t-shirt is quite something.
Well, I was gonna put my shirt on, but then I thought, I don't want to go over the top.
Fair.
I mean, shoes as well. Shoes are lovely. Look at these, $4.99 from a Japanese website. Look at those. They're like fake Uggs. They're so comfy. It's
To be fair, round the house.
Yeah, they're so nice. Come round.
Not in public.
That's all I wear around the house. Just them. Nothing else.
Thankfully, this isn't a fashion show, of course. We're going to talk some racing. We're going to reflect on what happened at the weekend, and just a plug, by the way, a very special punter's guide. We're going to look forward to what is a fantastic festive period. I think at King George for the ages, and I know you boys both agree. We'll get our opinions on that. We've got the Welsh Grand National to look forward to, cracking action over in Ireland as well. There's only one place we can start for the weekend. Obviously, this Road to Cheltenham series takes us all the way up to the festival, reflecting on the action that we've seen. And the only place to start is the long walk hurdle we had at Ascot. Imposatoire. Is he the real deal? Is he getting the credit he deserves?
Not sure. I think he's got to be the real. He's got to be in the frame of being the real deal, hasn't he? He's got to be up there with the likes of Tirpoo, Ballyburn, and obviously Honesty Policy, who finished behind him. He's beaten Strong Leader twice now. He has to be in the top percentile of 3 mile hurdlers that we've got. I guess the way that he does it means that for some reason people aren't getting carried away, and maybe because of what he's beaten, but he can only beat what's in front of him, and he's doing it quite nicely. He did it really easily. I remember saying on our previous Road to Cheltenham show that Nico, after that, said, well, actually hinted to me that he did it quite easily, and I re-asked him the same question, because I said, last time I put words in your mouth and I said he was tough, wasn't he, Nico? And you said, actually, he wasn't that tough. How was he today? And he kind of joked and said tough. But speaking to Nick Henderson afterwards, he said he doesn't do a lot at home, he's lazy as you like, and they don't really know where the ceiling is. So I suppose that's the question. Are you with a horse that's improving and we don't know where the end limit is, or are you with the likes of Tirpoo and Ballyburn? You know exactly what you're getting.
We know he can get up the hill. He's beaten Strong Leader twice. We know what Strong Leader's like. He just gallops and gallops and gallops. And there's always that question. I thought at Newbury, is he going to go past? He did. Same question at Ascot, and he probably did with a bit more authority.
Yeah, I hate Sean Bowen, by the way, because I did the reverse forecast on the 2 JP horses. We got the winner, but it doesn't make any difference. You get paid out on the winner if you got the second.
How much did you make?
Nothing. No, but always a beat the head or whatever it was. Strong Leader, Sean Bowen, going for everything as he does. Honesty Policy, I think, will turn out to be the better horse.
That's the interesting
because
one.
we talked about it on Friday, and it had the fitness edge. Imposatoire. Honesty Policy, I think, wasn't absolutely knocked around.
No.
And I'm going, go on,
Yeah.
give him one.
2 with the whip, I counted.
Yeah. So, I think if we look back in this in 6 months' time, I think Honesty Policy will be the better horse.
Interesting.
It is. You can see it 2 ways, can't you? You can say exactly what Joel just has. He wasn't given a hard time. It was his first start of the season. He's bound to improve more. But at the same time, we don't know he definitely will. And Imposatoire is improving. And I guess, are you with the more unexposed version, or are you with the rapidly improving and rising one? It's a funny one. It's a hard one to judge. And people obviously have split opinions. Honesty Policy seems to have caught more eyes, which is because he wasn't given a hard time. But Imposatoire still has won, I think, with a bit in hand.
There's 2 sides of the fence here for me, well, for everybody really. You've got the Hatton's Grace form with both the
Ballyburn and Tirpoo, yeah.
and then you've got this Ascot form. Look at the market, 11-4 Ballyburn, 7-2 Tirpoo. I think we're going to see those over Christmas. And the 7-1 Imposatoire, 8-1 Honesty Policy. They're suggesting that Irish race, the Hatton's Grace, is, well, head and shoulders above the form that we've seen over here so far this season. Would you agree?
I'd say it's better. I don't know if it's that much better as the market suggests.
Yeah, I think Tiapu. I think he's, and how old is Tiapu now? We've said this so many times. I think that Tiapu's about 18 now, something like that. Illegal to have a pipe after we finish this, but not. I still think Ballyburn and Tiapu set the standard.
One thing that's interesting about honesty policy, because of Gordon has Tiapu, okay, we haven't seen him yet this season. He hasn't actually been talked about that much. No. Even pre-race, he wasn't talked about much. Like, is that because at home they know Tiapu's better, or is it because they've just quietly been waiting to see what he can do? But he hasn't really got many mentions anywhere, and he's obviously exciting. Even his form last year, beating was it Potter's Nichols' horse, who's got a right old engine but can't keep his head on him at Aintree anyway. That's gone chasing. That form from last year is proper form, but he's been quite quiet on the radar.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I genuinely do think now, might change within 6 months. Well, obviously it will, but there's not a lot between Tiapu and to the one Ballyburn. So that's where I'm on money.
So if you could have a bet, if you could back Tiapu and Ballyburn to win versus Impositoir and Honesty Policy to win, you'd back the Irish.
Absolutely, yeah. At the minute, from the Hatton's Grace for.
And that's what
I still think I've won, by the way, in that Hatton's Grace race. They talk about fiddling and horse racing. That was a fiddling photo, because I definitely won. Because you put one up and I put the other up.
Because the judge went out of his way just to really annoy you.
That's why Joel's dressed like that. He lost the bet with the judge.
I bet I lost the worst bet I've lost this week.
I'm glad you mentioned Gordon, Elliott, because I'm going to come on to him in a short while. I think it's a real important period for him in Ireland. We're just going to react to more stuff for the weekend. Saturday, Sam, has he got another nice one? Steel Ally?
Yeah, 9 lengths beaten of Push the Button, wasn't it, from Mark Walford's, who came from the Twisties. And 2 seconds and a win? Won on debut for the stable. Half a length behind that, Meet Me by the Waters or Meet Me by the Sea or Weatherby, the JP horse. Entered Boxing Day as well.
Not going though. Just check, not declared.
Right, why are you laughing?
Just you, Meet Me by the Sea, Meet Me by the Waters. That was going.
meet me round the back. Meet me round the back. I'll see you around there in a couple of minutes. You see, I go so northern. So not entered.
Not declared.
Not declared. It's entered but not declared. Yeah. Okay. No, Steel Ally. I think what I really like about Sam is the fact, a bit like Nichols, he's not scared to run them either. If they're fit and ready to go, what's the point of having them in the box? You know what I mean? So I think he's got another good one there, and just keeps going.
And we'll talk about the Welsh Grand National as well in our special Punters Guide Festive show, which does of course concern Sam Thomas. Were you impressed still?
I was. You know what? He was sort of Romeo Kulio-esque, I thought. The way that he...
That's a bold shout.
Not as good, but just the way he raced, the way he got over his fences nice and quickly. I just love the way that he just sort of motored along and was just eating up these fences without them really slowing him down. But he's found himself in a weird sort of position, hasn't he, when you're a 2.5 miler but you've blown your handicap mark. You're not going to be an Arkle, or maybe he is an Arkle horse. You're probably not going to step him up to 3, I wouldn't think. So is he an Aintree horse, flatter track, middle distance? I don't know. But he's going to go up in the weights, isn't he, for doing that?
And Sam loves Aintree.
Probably can't run in that 2.5 mile novice chase if he's in the mid 150s. Well, he could, but he'd carry a lot of weight. So he's a funny old position, I think.
Rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
What about the Nicky Anderson novice, Crystal Island, wasn't it?
On Friday.
They've got the one that won at Cheltenham, off the park, I can't remember what it was called.
Old Park Star.
Old Park Star, thank you.
Yes.
It was very impressive. And now they seem to have another one, this Crystal Island, who beat some potentially nice types on his hurdles debut. So, all of a sudden Nicky Anderson's starting to get a nice novice brigade.
He's building a bit of a team, actually. As we started to look back at the weekend and thinking about Impositoir and a couple of other performances, I started to draw out Nicky's team, and it's actually becoming quite exciting with Lulamba, Sagino, who we'll speak about, and those from the weekend. Henderson is building a bit of a Cheltenham team, as we know. So I thought, Crystal Island, isn't it? Or Crystal Ocean?
Crystal Island.
By the sea. Crystal by the sea. By the waters. Maybe around the back of the crystals.
Impressive enough, but I don't think will top even his novice division. I don't think.
Okay.
I generally can't add anything to it. I mean, he said it all. There's nothing to say, and people are busy at Christmas.
Old Park Star, though. Very keen on.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes next. What are the handicaps? I know you put up Deep Cave on the Punter's Guide. Very impressive. Just got up. What's on with them next? I mean, when you're looking at Cheltenham, you think if these are winning handicaps here, their mark's now blown.
Can I ask you, was that a great ride, or was that the second jockey letting... Was it Jack Tudor?
Yeah.
Up the rail.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's unforgivable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is unforgivable.
I spoke to Jack after and he said sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, and he got a bit of luck. He was under instructions to give the horse as much time as it needed and not rush, because he's only had a couple of starts over fences. So I thought it was a beautiful ride.
I thought it was brilliant.
To be fair, Jack Tudor is mustard in
I
staying handicap
absolutely agree.
chases. He is a proper jock to be with. I thought it was a great ride. Obviously got a bit of luck up the rail, but brought him into the race nicely. He was tough in the finish. I guess they'll wait and see what the handicapper does, because they could be tempted into an ultimate with him. He's a nice horse. Yeah. Christian said that at the start of the year. This is the horse for the year that we've got from a relatively small team. You don't get many of those horses. The National is the target. They needed to win to go up in the weights. Now, if he goes up to a mark which they think is attractive for a National, probably protect that if he's going to be best suited there. But if he's just low enough that he might be able to run well and get nudged up again,
there's more in there. There's more to cut. The
ultimate would surely tempt you, but especially because it recently is a tried and tested route, isn't it? You start to think, well, should we go to the ultimate then the National? So I think they'd be teased in. I don't think they'd be likely to go to the Kinmure because of the relationship the owners have with Christian and Jack, and he couldn't ride in the Kinmure. So I think if it was to be Cheltenham, it would probably be the ultimate. Well, they will, won't they? They'll see what the handicapper does.
But I think
only got up 2, I think. He went off 139, he's got up 2.
In that case, you'd surely be tempted, wouldn't you? You wouldn't begrudge yourself a Grand National for a Cheltenham Festival winner, would you?
No.
you take what you get, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
The national weights are out by the time they run.
Yeah, of course.
So
of course.
It wouldn't really make a difference there.
Yeah, God, yeah, of
course. The thing is, you've got things like, thanks to the Old Great Yorkshire, you've got the old racing post chase at Kempton, I can't remember what name it's called. They're the ones that Christian Williams, he's had a lot of good success with Captain Ord lately.
Yeah. No, they are. I'd be tempted. I think he's a really good horse. I think he's Cheltenham Festival worthy, put it that way.
I think there's honestly, I was trying to say there's more to come there, which was about Jack Tudor, and it's very Charlie Deutsch. Sometimes on them Christian Williams horses, you think they're not off, and sometimes they're not. But it was one of those, wasn't it? A bit like you see that Charlie Deutsch will sit there and he's quiet. We know how good he is over fences, and Jack Tudor was the same, and then spotted the gap. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I think there's a lot more to come there. A lot more to come.
No, I think it's a nice horse.
Yeah, really nice horse.
Johnny Who back in third.
Flying home.
Flying home.
Absolutely steaming.
Right. Well,
that'll be back to the Kinmure, won't it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
But, obviously started for the Grand Theft, did you mention the National?
Yeah, that's true.
What do you make of that, Johnny Who? Because I looked at it and
it just seemed to take him a real while to get into his stride, but once he found it,
he was motoring
absolutely flying.
Which could give John Jurell Jr., Betfred ambassador, a bit of a...
We had a great weekend.
Yeah.
We had a great weekend.
Well, we'll start with Iroko. I know it's his road to Cheltenham, but come on, we've seen the Grand National favourite win over 2.5 miles.
Yeah, I mean, he actually did it nicely. Funny one, isn't it? Because Firefox is mid 150s, and then James Boulay is 160, but he's not a 160.
No, he's not.
So he needs to come down, and I don't think Iroko's going to go up that much.
I was at Haydock with Josh, and I just asked him and said, must be pleased. He went, delighted with that.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect race, wasn't it?
What the handicapper might do.
I think it would be harsh to put him up too much.
Yeah, I think
in a 3-runner race that gets a little bit tactical, and Firefox has done the hard work in front, and Iroko's picked him up nicely, and he met the last beautifully. Like, all of these things mean that it was kind of a perfect performance from a handicapping and still managing to win point of view, and he's done it over 2 and 2 mile 5, which is not his trip, so I think it was really positive.
I generally, with that sound like Lydia Hislop, I completely agree. I genuinely completely agree. I really like Johnny Hugh from the weekend. I really did. That was my hello horse this weekend. Absolutely flying.
So I just mentioned that the last race as well. I know we'll say John Jewett again on Willful.
Yeah.
As this show's gone through, we've mentioned Alexei.
Do you know what? He was not on backs, and a lot of people put that horse up at the weekend as well.
Yeah, 147. He's only beaten 4 lengths by 2. I mean, on the Welsh Champion Ileful, I think it was, wasn't it? Willful was handicapped to go and beat him.
Yeah.
And he has done, but only by 4 lengths.
Yeah.
And Hot Fuzz has run an absolute cracker.
Yeah.
The Mondo Man can't jump.
Well, we said that on Friday, didn't we? So, you know, it's one of them awful favourites. I mean, the Lamba form is the only thing that the lazy traders have looked at.
If you can't win off that mark.
If you can't win off that mark, what, 100, was it 105 on the flat, 1, 2, 3 over obstacles, and you're looking at that, and it can't jump. But we said that on Friday, just didn't get the winner.
I was really looking through that race to try and find something to take out of it for Cheltenham, and
it's difficult.
The winner probably will go. John Joe hinted at that in the county. Yeah, in the county. The one that has given me no reason to put him up for Cheltenham, but I have to, is that live Conti of the Skeltons, who ran no race, but you just can't.
Skeltons.
Yeah, it's the Skeltons, it's the county. He was second to Cargés at Aintree last year. He's really lightly raced. He didn't need to do anything at the weekend. It's every chance he's a very good horse lurking, but that's not an opinion based off form, is it? It's just based off of what we know about how they operate.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about Alexei? Because it was maybe one step too far.
It might have been.
Didn't like the fact. I mean, Mondo Man. I mean, geez, come on. Didn't like that, but I thought Alexei may be able to go with a hike. But
yeah, £12 got to give to Wilful.
Yeah,
so he was much better off with him for that Welsh Champion Hurdle form. Okay, Hot Fuzz ran a cracker, but in behind Mondo Man, Helvine, which obviously he had behind. What was he? He was
six.
He beat him by 8 here, so that form's kind of stood up as well. So maybe just bumped into I wouldn't be losing faith in him. What was he off there? 147, 14. So he's even got up a pound. 148. All right, he's not quite Champion Hurdle standards, but.
I was just a little bit disappointed just because I've seen the horse come on and thought this is really good, but I think the height was a little bit excessive.
£13, but he's gone to show that maybe it was writing. I wouldn't be writing him off.
And it was off for his life. It was, and then runs over Christmas.
I suppose he goes to Newbury for the
probably,
yeah.
John's hinted at that for
Wilful. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Does make sense. Anything else from the weekend? There's a meeting at Thurles in Ireland. Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned? You're at Ascot. Anything else catch your eye?
The name of Nichols's horse has escaped me, but won that 3-mile novice hurdle, and he kept just mentioning that he's a right baby, but he is a proper stayer.
Jacques de Moulin.
Yeah, I actually ended up in the sort of the middle of all that. If you watch the way that Paul Nicholls celebrated him winning, you know that they probably thought a bit of him at home. It was a tight finish, and then ended up walking back in with Dow Jacob as Pauling walked past. He was flying, and Dow was like, "Oh, you're flying, bud." And he said, "Well, yeah, we've just been touched off there." He was a bit annoyed.
Yeah.
And Dow said, "Yeah, but fair play. I sat on Nichols's horse a couple of weeks ago, and he's a proper horse." And then I ended up in the.
Did he fall off?
And then I heard Nichols saying to the owners straight away. First thing he said, "That'll win again." So probably not a Cheltenham horse. He's a youngster, but want to keep on side from the weekend anyway.
One of your mates, friend of the show, Paul, was quite sweet on him as well, wasn't he?
Oh, you met my financial advisor, ex-financial advisor, Paul.
Yeah, he had a word with me about that as well.
What did he say?
He said you never had anything to
Never had any
invest.
money anyway. You can't invest all if you've got nothing.
10% of zero is still zero.
Exactly. I think, honestly, he was devastated with Jackie Hobbs at the weekend, it was a man up of the weekend.
Yeah, Crossy was keen on him as well.
Yeah. I think
she missed a couple, didn't she?
Everyone was keen, but you spoke to Paul O'Brien afterwards, and she's run a race. Like one of those. Like I look at Man United, I'm a Man United fan now, getting beat by Villa 2-1. I think that's the level we're at. 6th, 7th, 8th place. There's no point sitting there going, I think that's what the level she's at. So I was to go in.
It's still early days for her. He's only a second run over hurdles.
Yeah, I know, but everybody wants stuff like this now, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
On that,
especially the kids.
Yeah.
Right, just going to move on very quickly. So, you mentioned Gordon Elliott a second ago. A real important time. He's having a great run of things. He's had an incredible run. I mean, I kind of said at the beginning of the season, that Darren Hall meeting, he always targets, and he has a lot of winners. He had a lot of winners. He had a lot of horses who were disappointing there as well. Horses they've actually come out since then and won. He's had an incredible run. At the expense of Willie Mullins somewhat. This is a real important period now over Christmas. They've got some real nice horses going to Leopardstown. Willie obviously have his battalions out
That's
as well.
the thing, isn't it?
You've been to the yard. Has he changed his MO this year? Bearing in mind it hasn't been a very fruitful Cheltenham in recent seasons.
No, it hasn't. You're right by saying Dan Roll, Navan, obviously local to him, he loves to target and does always do well at those meetings. He's also had some success over here early doors. The big sort of clash is now that the Mullins horses start to come out. If he can hold off a few of those, then he'll be really happy with his position. It's typical of trainers, but I understand why they say it, and there's probably quite a lot of truth to it. you ask all of them all the time and they tell you either we have or we haven't got the horses. And he obviously now thinks he has a better team of horses. Whether he's doing anything different, well, he's always growing the place. I spoke to him and he was like, I built that last year, that 2 years ago, I've just built that. I said, what's going to be the difference? He said, well, probably that, but I can't tell you until a year's time, until I've ran some horses around it. And his brain is working at 200 miles an hour. But he did also say, you know, it's about having the horses.
But Nichols always used to say that as well. When he had his golden period, and you'll get the interviewer who'll go, "What's happened, Paul?"
But that's
and you just go, "I got the horses."
Yeah.
It's like, I can only run what I've got, but I can't make a sow's ear out of a whatever it is.
It can be sort of snowballing either way or spiralling either way. Can't it, racing? I wonder whether sort of good horses bring other horses along, but trainers seem to do this because of owners, success, horses, and it all goes together, or it can go in the reverse.
You see traders on incredible runs of form, and it's like success breeds success and confidence as well, and it runs through the yard. And he has an incredible run of form lately. Well, this is like a real acid test.
To be fair, he's been putting horses in races that aren't like, he's been a bit more experimental, I think. Like 2 milers going in 2.5 mile, or a couple of horses have ran at all trips this season already. So
he's been more honest as well, I think, this year as well. He's
He's been trying maybe some different sort of race planning, perhaps. But he's had so much success over the years. He's got a nice team of horses, hasn't he? And I started to do the same as I was doing with Henderson, started to jot them down. And that Kyros comes out over Christmas. That was the Maxwell sale, which was Lisa O'Neill, his assistant.
He's had it right off, hasn't he?
The year, or horse to follow for the year.
David Maxwell's had it right off.
Is that not the best bit of business ever? Yeah. Just ride your own horses, get them extremely well handicapped, and then flog them all for hundreds of thousands of pounds. Absolute bargain. But I suppose better days or brighter days ahead. Wadhu, he's got Carla Conti, he's got Tearpoo, he's got Woolpart.
There's one you haven't mentioned.
He's got
what?
Where are we going? It's Romeo Kulio.
Of
course. Gosh. I thought we were right top of your pile.
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it? He is Romeo Kulio.
Yeah,
you just mentioned some incredible horses there.
Yeah.
He's
is it 3-1 over the Christmas period? 3-1 on?
Yeah, well, about 4-7-2s on, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what the most fascinating division for me is in respect to Gordon Elliott?
He's getting on.
I was like, get on. Is the Wadhu brighter days ahead. Sorry, the Wadhu brighter days ahead and Lossiemouth trio is so fascinating because Cheltenham almost gives them their wrong races, in my opinion. Like, I reckon Wadhu could give Lossiemouth a race over 2.5 maybe, but not 2. But then
she did at Aintree.
Yeah, and then brighter days ahead, where does she fit in? She doesn't run that well at Cheltenham, and it's interesting that whole. Yeah, it is, really is.
Honestly, we're going to get onto it. Please watch the Punters Guide special, because we're going to wax lyrical, because the racing is just trying hard to keep there's
too much.
There is a little bit too much.
I was saying to Frankie before you were an hour late after you've been to Greg's for your festive bake. We're going through
that. The bakery's all around.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Limerick, and there's Charles Burns has got one there. He's had 3 runs, maiden Mares Hurdle or whatever it was. And I'm going, there's so much. And you really have to. Your brain gets battered. But the good TV racing is absolute top draw. And it may be the final King George at Kempton.
It may well be. It may well be for him as to be believed, but it could be a race for the ages. But that is our Punters Guide special. Well, that'll be out over the festive period. This is the road to Cheltenham. Anything else from anywhere that I haven't mentioned from the weekend? Anything that you think, if I had a free fiver, I'd be sticking that on for Cheltenham after what we saw at the weekend?
No, I mean, the only one noted was the one that Frankie mentioned, the Skelton horse. The county, but at the minute I've got 17 horses for Skelton for the county. so come on, and none of them will go there. No, the racing was good this weekend, but there wasn't a lot of clues. Moving forward is the way this weekend, whereas the last couple of weeks we've been.
Our next Road to Cheltenham show will be about 8 hours long, I think, as we reflect on the festive period. But that was the Road to Cheltenham. As I always say, please like and subscribe. We will have a show, usually every Monday, building up to the greatest show on turf. So please like, subscribe, and you will know when the next edition is out. And of course, every Friday, we have the Punters Guide as well. We try and point you in the direction of a few winners. So as I say, please tune in to our festive special Punters Guide. That was the Road to Cheltenham, and I hope you had a very, very profitable weekend, and you're looking forward to a brilliant festive period.